Welcome to everyone. Today we are coming to you live. This is DappRadar's Off the Blockchain, and every week we talk about the world of Web3, everything that goes on there, NFTs, blockchains, gaming, DeFi, you name it, we talk about it. Alongside me, I have the king of content, Robert Hoogendoorn, and the man who wears many hats, and all of them very stylishly, is Mr. Ian Kane. Of course, you have me, your host, Charlie. Like and subscribe if you're a regular listener. You can also catch us on Spotify, where these shows go out in audio form. Now, what we're talking about today, right, what have I got on my list? We're looking at a couple of NFT collections that have been in the headlines this week. We'll get into those soon. Rob's going to be dropping some gaming alpha for us all. And we'll also be discussing a side of the Ethereum merge that most people aren't talking about. Right, first off, though, before we hit everyone with the hard stuff, how are we all? Rob, what's happening in your world?
In my world, everything is fine, mate.
Nice.
I've been trying to have a nice weekend the past week, diving a bit into the sandbox, tinkering with World Wide Web. I got into the new playtest for Guild of Guardians. So I've been playing a bit, and all's fine.
Just out of interest, quickly, what is the latest with World Wide Web? Because they're always sort of adding on new features, aren't they? And doing bits in here and there. I think they're quite an interesting project. So what's happening over there?
Yeah, I mean, they're testing the questing systems, and they have lots of elements where you can simply go in, you can complete a quest line or complete a challenge or a competition, and you can win an NFT, for example, a hoverboard for your character, that kind of stuff. So it's like, often people think about blockchain gaming that you need to buy something first before you can play, and a project like World Wide Web kind of shows that you can also just play and then earn something. Yeah, and something can be something that's turns out to be super valuable. It can also just be a $10 NFT. Doesn't really matter.
And sometimes gaming is just fun for gaming's sake, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Ian, what's going on with you? How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm doing good. I mean, as you said, I wear many hats. I'm in a pretty good mood this week because in my non-crypto life, I also run a restaurant with my wife, and she let me DJ there on the weekend. So to put my DJ hat on and do a closing party, which was pretty cool. And I kind of forgot how much I loved it, really. So it's put a bit of a smile on my face this week. So I'm in a good mood. Make the most of it.
Does that explain the fresh haircut?
Yeah, I had to cut my hair to make, because she said, cut your beard off and sort your hair out. You look like an old man. All right, cool.
But hold on. So you're a content writer, AMA host, DJ,
trader.
Okay.
Man of many hats, as I say.
Full-time gardener and tree cutter. Many
wood chopper.
That's it, man. That's it.
All right. Before we get into the big stories of the week, I want to start off with a game of thumbs up or thumbs down. And this one has a bit of a twist in it because we'll be doing it all around one theme. Now, this is based around a recent picture of Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin. I'm sure that everyone who's listening to this show probably will have heard it. Go on, Ian. What are you going to say?
Hold up. There we go.
Yeah.
Vitalik looking very excited with his recent
Very
cool.
Now, so that picture has been doing the rounds, as we all know. But on the back of that, I wanted to do a quick game of I wanted to do a quick game of thumbs up or thumbs down around it was a NFT collection called Vitalik Pumps, which I think was dropped in the last day or two or something. And it's kind of been getting a bit of traction on social media, and the price has been slightly up a bit on OpenSea. There you go. There's the little characters. You can kind of see what they're based on.
I like the censored one. The censored one. I'm liking that. That's pretty cool. So there we have Vitalik's man pieces.
I have to say that I'm a bit disappointed that they don't actually look like Vitalik.
Yeah, I thought that they would have been a bit more.
What do you mean? That's him. That's what he looks like. Look at those curly eyes. I
don't know. Maybe people put in the comments, do you think any of them look like Vitalik?
Yeah. Which one of those? How many we got there? 12. Which one of those 12 is the most Vitalik looking? Let us know.
Yeah.
Anyway, based on the back of that, I want to give you a game of thumbs up or thumbs down around this new collection, and I want you to give me a thumbs up or thumbs down first on the long-term success of the collection.
The long term.
Long term.
Long term.
Yeah. No.
I'm
not going to do it fully down, but come on.
I'm pretty down on that. I mean,
if this becomes like a new Bored Apes or whatever, then slap me in the face because
you know what, boys? I'm going the other way because of the ridiculousness of the cryptoverse. I think it might pump.
And how much people love Vitalik as well. So there you go. So, I mean, I'm going down personally. We'll see how it is in a week. Right. I also want to give you a thumbs up or thumbs down on the graphics quality. Ian, can we bring that picture up again?
Yeah,
quickly?
let's bring that picture in again.
I actually quite like them.
Yeah.
For real?
I don't know, as much as you can like some of these things.
They're not terrible. Like, let's be honest, they're not terrible. They're not amazing, but they're not terrible. But
so thumbs up or thumbs down on the graphics.
For me, it's thumbs down. I honestly really don't like them. So
they're not great, but they're not awful. So thumbs down.
Okay, we're a thumbs down on the graphics. All right, how about utility? How about utility?
Well, it's a flex. Let's say that much. It's a flex, but yeah, I'd say thumbs down.
I mean,
that.
they are.
You know what would be funny? Like if this like will be like the one collection that makes fun of the situation, and like 20 years from now, like Ethereum is an established blockchain network used across the world. Vitalik is slowly becoming the president of the USA.
Yeah,
and then like suddenly this collection has like tremendous value.
Exactly, man. You never know what's going to happen. Like,
okay, so for now, I'm going to go thumbs down, but watch this space.
Yeah, watch this space.
All right, now the final one I'm going to give you a thumbs up or thumbs down on is speed to market. Now, bearing in mind this picture came out over the weekend, I think it was. Speed to market. I mean,
double thumbs up.
They're fast. But
someone saw an opportunity.
They're super fast. In general, I think like in the NFT community, it's surprising how often people respond to news in a certain way. It's
there's always
bunch of creative guys.
Yeah, and that obviously with the internet being internet stuff is like you can do it in your room in half an hour and it's up there. You've got 5,000 minted NFTs that people are trading. Last I saw, there was like hundreds of ETH worth of it traded. So people like the joke and they're happy to pay $70 for it as well. So right,
we got an answer on the best Vitalik lookalike, but he said it was the brown Vitalik. So that's what we got there. The Indian Vitalik.
All right, we've done thumbs up or thumbs down. We've decided that this new collection could do well in 20 years. Maybe
one for the future, let's say.
In the meantime, I want to talk about another NFT collection, which is the Digidaigaku one. And there's a story about this and Limit Break and a $200 million investment that seems to have come out of the blue. And no one was quite sure what it is. So we've been looking into it at DappRadar. And Rob, you're going to take us through a bit of what is happening over there with Digidaigaku. I think that's how I'm pronouncing it.
Yeah, and the real news to me, like Digidaigaku has been not around for a long time, but they have been there for 1 or 2 weeks or something like that. Slowly increasing their value, going from zero. It was a free mint, so that we need to share that. It was a free mint, and right now it's I think 13.5 ETH. However, like what's kind of shocking is that the company behind Digidaigaku is called Limit Break.
Yeah.
And they got a $200 million investment from various corners of the Web3 industry to build a gaming platform. So now there's this company that has some anime waifu NFTs, a website that says stealth mode, showing a dragon and again one of those waifus, and that's it. There's no white paper, there's no trailer, there's nothing, and they have $200 million investment and 5,500 ETH in trading volume on their NFT collection. Now,
and this is the
I know
This is the thing, right?
Yeah, pure. I mean, it's pure waifu material, right? I mean, she skates, has pink hair, rainbow eyes. I mean, this is a anime.
Got a bum bag as well. I'm
an 8-year-old
J culture in there, and in its purest form. But it's like it's so shocking to me that and maybe they've shown lots of information to those investors, and those investors have seen the trailers, have seen prototypes of the software, but consumers are now spending thousands of dollars on those.
Oh, just quickly, Rob. Someone just put in the comments that the ETH price is already dropping.
The floor price is dropping. Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
But where was I going?
Founder, have they?
Yeah. So no, like maybe the investors got lots of info about the product, but now consumers are investing thousands of dollars in those waifus because now it belongs to a platform. At the same time, now the platform is in stealth mode, while the CEO Gabriel Layden is pumping his product like crazy. Like he is pimping the free to own slogan, as he puts it, as if they invented the
as if it's brand new. Yeah,
as if it's brand new. Yeah, I mean, NFT last year, NFT Worlds launched with a free mint, which is basically free to own. CryptoPunks launched many years ago as a free mint, free to own, and now they are presenting it like they have invented the wheel.
Yeah,
and it's
Goblin Town was free to mint.
Yeah.
Goblin Town also free to mint.
It's common.
So, and maybe Layden and his team will pull out a surprise rabbit from the magic hat and totally surprise me. But I'm heavily skeptical at this moment because I don't see any reason for the $200 million investment.
Yeah, because Rob, you've got slightly like wider thoughts on this whole, and not just this project, but there's the wider idea of people pumping literally hundreds of millions of dollars into these sort of shells of companies that don't have anything to actually offer. And yet it does always remind me of just quickly, it reminds me of the .com boom and how people were just putting money into anything that had a name with a .com on the end. And then they realized actually they were worth nothing. And it's these things of, someone's got an NFT project with some fancy artwork and people are like, yeah, I'll give you $200 million. And you're like, what for? Now, I'm not saying it won't succeed or can't succeed, but as you said, I saw you mentioning it the other day as well. What are they putting this money into and where's it going?
I mean, just to say, like Pixelmon, remember that one?
Kevin.
With Kevin, got a $70 million investment. At least they had a trailer, they had a plan. I mean, they totally didn't execute it properly and really fumbled and dropped the ball big time. But this also shows that the way we, I mean us consumers and also investment companies, seem to invest in Web3 gaming companies seems very random. Like it's and it's probably not random. Maybe it's even like politics. Maybe it's even like I know this guy. He has made a good game in the past. I worked with him at company X. Let's pump some money into him. But it really makes me wonder. Like, we've seen 3 Arrow Capital making all kinds of bad decisions, causing an entire downfall of a segment of the crypto space. Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z, the investment company. They also invest in a lot. And Animoca Brands also invest in a lot. And it just makes me wonder, like, okay, what is it that justifies those numbers? Like $200 million. And I know, like Limit Break, so the Digidaigaku company, is not going to build one game. They're going to build a gaming platform. But still, like, what the $200 million? It's not like you get $5 million to start building. $200 million.
As you said the other day, it's the same sort of money that you put into GTA.
Yes, that's the development money of GTA plus marketing money, plus money to build all the expansions and fund the entire game for a decade. So yeah.
Go on, Rob, are you saying that you think that those investors are being duped into parting with investment capital off the back of like
Nah,
white
no.
papers and what? I don't quite.
I just find the 200 million very shocking. Like,
Yeah, it's
so
quite hard.
we read the news. 200 million is going to Limit Break to build a gaming platform. They have an NFT collection you can invest in, but there's no information. There's nothing.
So you're wondering like why this 200 million is justified? Like who read? At what point did somebody sit down and say, yes, this company looks hot, we need to invest? Yeah. Is it perhaps not more of an investment the investment strategy of most companies would be to hedge bets, right? So you could take 10 companies and invest in 10. Only one of them will become anything good.
Chuck enough stuff at the wall and some of it will stick.
It must be like that generally. Yeah, basically, yeah. Like
200 million.
I know, it's a lot, isn't it?
200 million turrets you throw against the wall. It's a
Rob,
very expensive turret.
As you said, though, Rob, perhaps they know something we don't. They must have seen a white paper or a plan, because no one gives $200 million to someone based on a PFP collection. All right, I'm going to quickly move us on from one NFT collection to another one that's sort of come out in the fairly recent times. It's this Utes collection, one for the Utes.
One for the Utes.
I actually don't know loads about this. So, Ian, can you please explain to me and our listeners what is the Utes collection and what's going on there?
Yeah, this is something that Robert actually brought to my attention a couple of days ago, so I started looking into it. So it's a collection on Solana. It hasn't come out yet. It's forthcoming. Rumors are saying like 2nd and 3rd of September, but there's no confirmation there. So it's spelled Utes, which is Y00TS. So as I say, it's on Solana and it's been brought out by the guys at Dust Labs. Now they're the team that brought the Solana collection DGods, which is has become one of the most popular collections on Solana. Got some data here on that you can quickly see. Where is that? Here we go. So we can see that DGods has taken a really sharp rise over the past couple. That's over the past week as well. It rose up from sort of around 230 SOL, so almost double, to be honest, to like 585 SOL, which puts them at about $20,000 at current market rate. So yeah, the number in the collection is 15,000, and yeah, they're pretty cool. The website's quite nice. I've got an image here of what they put on the website as well, which is this Utes. So to me, they look like baby sheep, but I don't know.
Maybe ape sheep.
Ape sheep? I don't know. What do you guys think? I thought they looked like sheep, to be honest. So
yeah, put in the comments. Is it an ape or a sheep or what?
Is it an ape or a sheep? Let us know. So kind of cool. 15,000 of those to come out in the near future. They're going to cost around $1,000, around $1,200 at current market rate. But the main juice here is what they're doing with their copyright system that they're trying to implement. So we have a copyright system that is denoted with a C with a circle around it. That's the usual way of using a copyright sign. What they've come up with is a new variation called Y. So they've taken a circle and put a Y inside it. So the idea is that probably the easiest way to think
copyright.
Yeah, basically. The easiest way to think about it is if you imagine that people like Eminem and Snoop, for example, they have Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs, right? Now they're using the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT to make music videos and also use in the metaverse to make appearances and do other things. Now they can do that because there's copyright for that is given to them by BAYC, but they don't get paid for that. There's no financial benefit to them creating these subculture channels and other things that they're creating, which does bring value to BAYC. Obviously, Eminem and Snoop having one makes the value go up, but they don't get it.
DMAs, didn't they? They had their...
Yeah, they just did that. Yeah, I mean, that was cool, right? So they're doing all this, which brings heightened awareness to BAYC as a collection total, but they don't get anything for this. So what this new system is of Y is basically saying that people can tap into a collection and build a sub-community or culture out of it. And fundamentally, you can take so imagine you buy one Ute NFT. You can then take that Ute and add specific traits to that Ute and create a whole nother collection if that's what you want to do. And it's kind of like creating subculture from within a collection, but then those people that do that are rewarded for doing that for lifetime. So it's a different way to approach. Yeah.
So for example, like I'm a representative of Ray-Ban.
Yes.
I will sell 1,000 Ray-Ban youth wearables.
Yes.
And then people buy them and they become part of the Ray-Ban community within youth.
Yes. And then they can derive another NFT collection from that, which they now have the rights to do. It's very, like, the white paper is pretty thin, to be honest. Like, and they do state at the end, this is experimental. We don't know how this will go. This is our way. This is how we see a better way to deliver NFT rights, basically.
Yeah.
So it's also based on derivatives. So if I own a youth, I can make derivatives out of it, and that will be my community culture thing.
Fundamentally.
It does sound like a good idea, and it just sounds like it'd be quite hard to do it in practice. But if they've got an idea of how to do it, just like, how are the payments funneled through to the right people, and how do they track them?
Well, that's like having a registry. They've got a Y registry. So basically, the Y registry would tell you can do it at Web3 speed. Like, basically, somebody can say, I want to make an amendment to this. They have to be part of the subculture and then be allowed on the registry to make the change. So it is quite complicated, as I say, and I've got a link here that I'm going to throw into the chat, and that's the article that we put out yesterday with links through to the white paper and things like that. But yeah, like I say, it's an experimental thing at the moment, but it's kind of cool because it's bringing something different. It's on Solana, so it does have the potential to kind of put Solana NFTs on the map once again as another collection that's pumping. But yeah, I mean, you really need to read into it a little bit. There's different benefits for creators and there's benefits for people who trade there as well. So, but the real juice is that you can kind of supercharge a community and create derivatives off the back of it. But what we're seeing as well regarding data on DappRadar, we're seeing that DGods is pumping, because obviously if the collection has been made by the same people, the holy grail is that someone who owns a DGod may get a free ute. There's been no information regarding that. But it could be stimulating sales of DGods in the event that you do get that. So we've seen an almost 300% lift in trading volume in the last 30 days for DGods. And the floor price is up to nearly $20,000, which makes it the most with the highest floor price of any Solana NFT. And then to make it even more interesting, so all this is happening and people are
this is the bit that I find interesting in this bit that you're about to get onto now.
Yeah, like all that's happening. So that's kind of interesting, and you can look into that and read about that. And unfortunately, there was an allow list, and this was another thing that they did. They called it a scholarship list. So anybody that wanted to be approved to purchase one of these NFTs when they dropped could apply for what they're calling a scholarship. And then you basically gave them your Twitter handle, and there was no prerequisite. You didn't have to be famous. You didn't have to have X amount of Twitter followers. You could just be an average person and you would stand just as much chance. And then they've got a separate Twitter page where they're throwing all the people that have been approved. They come up on Twitter. So you get to see who's in this community of 15,000, who's actually being allowed to mint one of these things. So again, that's a bit different and that's kind of cool. But today, actually, in a really kind of weird move, the official DGods NFT accounts have been suspended, along with the Utes and members of the wider team accounts as well. And it's a bit of a shock, like, to the DGods NFT community. And they've been trying to figure out what happened. And yeah, nobody really knows. Like, Utes was trending online with over 6,000 tweets about that issue. But we're not too sure why they've been kicked out. Rob and I were just talking about something. I've got my usual conspiratorial theories about it, but that's the latest. So this is
like an ongoing story. So as we speak, no one actually knows.
Nobody knows. Like, so that happened this morning, and now we're waiting to see what happens with that. But yeah, pretty weird that their accounts have been taken down, and we're not sure whether it's Twitter that's done that or somebody made a mistake, or I mean, I've got a theory.
Like been outed as like dodgy traders of dodgy things or something,
or like copycats, or I don't know. Like there's a few different options.
Conspiracy theory here.
Conspiracy.
Yeah. So when you have Twitter, you can verify. You can put your phone number against it, right? Then you can also open multiple accounts. So what you can do, assumingly, like the company behind it, they have DGods NFT, they have Utes NFT, they have Utes List, and they have some other accounts, all for the company, all for DGods and Utes. What if they had another account, a dodgy one, a shady one,
A burner.
a burner. No, it's not but yeah, a burner, or maybe a dirty one. Who the hell knows?
Dirty burner.
But they made a mistake there. So they did something stupid, and because one got banned, all got banned. Maybe the phone number got blocked because of that's inappropriate behavior. Who knows? Social media manager makes mess up, and
and then they all get banned because they're all from the same source. Yeah, potentially
could be that. Or
there we
the
go.
other conspiracy, they took them down on purpose because now we're talking about it.
Oh yeah, the old marketing trick. That's your favorite one, isn't it, Ian?
It is my favorite one. It's
all
a PR
publicity
trick.
is good publicity.
Exactly right, and it's great publicity. They'll be on the front of all the media today with this. So
they're all over Twitter,
exactly. So that's
my.
All right. Well, but yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty interesting stuff. A new way to approach NFT rights. Pretty interesting.
So, some last words. So Frank DeGods was one of the. I don't know what his role is, but he's a big guy in the DeGods community.
Yeah.
He posted a tweet. Fun facts. The DeGods presale was launched from a shitty motel in Alabama. Long story. The DeGods Discord was DDoS attacked 10 minutes before public mint. And 4 days before we released Dead Gods, our house flooded. Now, all our Twitter accounts are suspended. We will survive. So,
Gloria Gaynor.
It brings some hope.
Sounds like it's not the worst thing that's happened to them in their existence, so I'm sure they'll be fine.
All right. So there is a collection on Solana that seems to be was doing well, and then they got suspended, and now we'll see how they get on. But from one blockchain to another, I wanted to talk about the upcoming Ethereum Merge, which is obviously very exciting. It's taking place around the 15th or 16th of September. If you know about Web3 and you know about blockchains, you will definitely have heard about this. People are seeing it as a huge milestone in the Web3 industry. It's going to reduce consumption of energy, and then the associated pollution. I think it's like 99.95% less energy consumption will be used. So that's good news for the world. People are also talking about how it could benefit layer 2 sidechains. So when sharding happens, in the future, they're going to layer 2 sidechains like Polygon or Optimum. They'll be better, cheaper, faster. So this could end up with lower prices for blockchains. But people aren't necessarily talking about how it will affect dapps or decentralized applications, as they're called. So there are a few things that we think people should watch out for from a Dapp point of view, and we're sort of talking to our community, and we wrote an article yesterday about it, which you can find on the blog on DappRadar.com. But there are a few things that people should watch out for in the run-up to the merge to sort of protect themselves, or just be aware of, because things don't always go right. So the first thing we want to talk about was automated market makers. They will need to recode their platforms as this merge goes from proof of work to proof of stake. They'll need to recode the code and change their software. So there's more possibility that things could break down if they don't do this properly in time for the merges. I'm sure they've all been preparing for this for a long time, and they've seen that the previous testnet mergers all went well. But if things break, people could potentially lose money. But on the flip side of that, there could be arbitrage opportunities. So Pedro at work was telling me about this. What are you laughing at?
Forever the trader. I love that. I was thinking about the arbitrage.
It was Pedro said it to me. Just bear in mind, everyone, this is not financial advice, or don't necessarily go buying any of these things. But when these things aren't fully calibrated yet, these AMMs or automated market makers, so they're like Steth and ETH there could be a discrepancy between them, and this could present opportunities for people who know about this sort of stuff. Now, I must say, exactly. I don't know about. I won't be doing arbitrage because I don't really know how to do it. I haven't got the knowledge or the time or the interest.
But it's a little bit like the moment, a stablecoin depegs. Like stablecoin becomes 95 cents. Are you going to buy the stablecoin and take that 5% profit when it goes back to its peg? It's a tricky thing.
Yeah, stable coins are different because you assume that they should go back up to the dollar peg. But with ETH, you don't know which way like the stETH is going to go in the ETH.
No.
So again, DYOR. If you're going to get into this, learn how to do it properly. Don't just try and buy some ETH and think it's going to go up.
Yeah.
Also be aware of stable coins and collateral that they're backed up with. Again, if these liquidity pools of stable coins and what they're backed with are not properly calibrated, there could be issues with the price of coins on markets and liquidity pools. NFTs could be prey to something called a replay attack. Now, I'm not quite sure how these work because I don't know how to code and stuff, but they're quite complicated and it could result in a hacker stealing your NFTs if they're not secured in the proper way. If you have, this is one of Rob's ideas. If you have crypto assets locked up in exchanges, consider taking them out and putting them into your crypto wallet, like a MetaMask, for safekeeping. Because if they're locked up for an indefinite amount of time, or something goes wrong and they get lost, then you'll be the one who loses money. No one's going to be giving it back to you. There's no regulations about this stuff. So, if you think that if your money is locked up into a pool or something, or on a platform, a DeFi platform, then consider taking it out and putting it into your MetaMask. And this is another one. This is from Pedro. Remember Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So don't assume that just because all these test nets were successfully merged in the run-up this year, don't assume that everything will go smoothly. Because as I say, things can go wrong. And this is the big one. There's hundreds and hundreds of platforms that are built, hundreds of dapps that are built on Ethereum. All it needs is 1% of them to have not done their software changes and coding changes properly. And people could lose NFTs, gaming assets, cryptocurrency, all those sort of things that you have locked up in blockchain technology. So I think it's just a case of be aware that these changes aren't just going to be a case of, faster transaction times, less energy, better side chains. This could potentially affect dapps that you use day in, day out. So find out which dapps you use on a regular basis. If they're Ethereum, consider taking your money out, or how to properly protect your NFTs. I don't know if you two think you're gone, Rob.
Yeah, I want to say I find DeFi stuff. I'm personally not too worried about. It's tokens, so no copy from one to the other, all fine.
Yeah,
I find the idea of NFTs, and not gaming NFTs, but purely like art NFTs. So ranging from Bored Apes to Xcopy and Hackatao NFTs. Those were originally minted on Ethereum on proof of work Ethereum, and now they're basically being copied to POS Ethereum, and I wonder if there will be some value in keeping the proof of work Ethereum original NFTs alive. Again, looking 10, 20 years into the future, what will it mean that you still hold the original minted Bored Ape on the proof of work Ethereum? And then Bored Ape is maybe a bad example, but just a general mediocre NFT. Or
what I will say is the Ethereum Foundation has explicitly put on their website the merge will have only minimal impact on a subset of contracts deployed on Ethereum, none of which should be breaking. So I get the impression that things are just going to smoothly move over from these contracts from one to the other. Now,
that's what they want you to think. Right?
Famous last word. But they have said that your NFT shouldn't be affected.
Don't look up.
Shouldn't be.
Don't look up. I don't know if you've seen a movie, but don't look up.
It's a good point, though. It's a very strong point there, isn't it?
I would say just go and check out the article that we have up on the blog, but also just, be aware that these things, if you are interested in all of this whole world of blockchains and Web3 and Ethereum, obviously being the most used blockchain in terms of things that are built on it and the sidechains coming off it, do go and do your research and check out if you're affected.
Aside from threats, though, there's also a whole bunch of opportunities as well, not to forget. It is important to mention the threats, of course, and to talk about those, but there are opportunities with this as well. You've got, you can be a validator, for example. There's opportunities to be an Ethereum validator. I think your current rate is 32 ETH.
I was doing my research for this article yesterday, and it says dispelling things that people say that aren't true, and apparently you can do it with any amount of ETH.
Yeah, I think that was for the staking amount was 32 ETH for the launch of the chain. But I think after post, you can do any amount, and the more that you put in, the more that you get back. Obviously.
Yeah, but you can literally with 0.1 ETH, you can be a validator. You just
and that people being able to be validators brings a whole sort of economic twist onto Ethereum as an asset, I think, as well. And like the fundamental value of Ethereum, should change actually, and the upgrade should bring a decreasing supply of Ethereum, which has always been its kind of downfall, and the opportunity to stake tokens. So there's a then expectation for yield and other things like that, and it's likely that total market interest in ETH would go up. But again,
you guys, if you would you run nodes?
Say that again.
Yes.
Would you run a node?
Yes, I think it would be something I'd be more interested in.
I understand 32 ETH is too much. I mean,
That's too much.
I don't have that laying around. No. But let's say one ETH node. Would you do it?
Probably what I would do, Rob, is talk to you guys and be like, hey guys, do you want to do like a 5 ETH pool? And do you want to put it together? Because I'm kind of like that with people. I think it's better.
We could do a DappRadar pool.
Exactly. Like you could do a DappRadar pool. But just the fact that I'm now thinking about it, that benefits Ethereum massively, and that a lot of other people are thinking about it as well. It could become a thing, and you don't need all this hardware that is actually pretty impossible to get your hands on in the old setup. Like you can't get those graphics cards and other things.
Have you ever mined, by the way?
No,
never.
Have you?
No. Yes, I have. Yeah.
Have you got an ASIC miner?
No, for Ethereum you don't need ASIC miner. ASIC is Bitcoin only.
Yeah.
So you
I actually mined Bitcoin on my computer, on my regular computer as well, just for lols. But
yes.
just to waste energy.
yeah. But I did it like 2000
time ago.
Yeah, 19-ish.
Yeah.
So it was still a waste of energy. I mean, there's no way I made profit. But I just wanted to see what it looks like, what it feels like to mine. And later on, I moved to Ethereum, and then I was like, okay, also not profitable enough. Then I went to Raven, and then I discovered masternodes, and then I lost a lot of money.
That's the usual process, right? You go further down the rabbit hole, and the money seems
and then you burn. Yeah,
the money comes out the pockets. But the other positive as well is that from DappRadar's perspective, I don't know what you guys think, but I kind of think we've seen a bit of a stagnation of dapps launching on Ethereum over the last few years, and they've kind of favored L1s and L2s. We've got a lot of activity on Polygon, Binance, and other Immutable X, and all these other networks. And you kind of saw a shift away from Ethereum due to gas fees and other things. And although gas fees are not coming down, they have said that. I think we might see a bit of a revitalization of dapps on Ethereum. Like, let's not forget that Ethereum is responsible for giving us everything that we're talking about with smart contract technology. All of this wouldn't even be possible without them. So we might see a bit of a resurge there. So from a Dapp perspective, I think it's very cool. We might get some positivity, and from an investment perspective as well. We're already seeing so much interest in Web3 and development and money flowing in. You guys were saying 200 million, So I think it's going to address some of those concerns that people had about making investments, because the two main things is energy efficiency and getting talent and developers in, right? And if Ethereum reduces its reliance, it can get more people. Yeah.
And I think L2 will be very, very big. Not L2 as in the regular Polygon chain, but really like the L2 that lays on top of Ethereum. That will become.
Yeah, I reckon they're just going to make Ethereum as the consensus layer, and then everything's just going to feed into that.
No, like big money goes onto L1, and all small money and funny transactions for video games and whatever that goes on L2 or maybe even L3 in the future. And
just quickly going on to your what you said, Ian, about more dapps building actually onto Ethereum. There's apparently now this is a bit of a technical one, but the sources of on-chain randomness have been changed. It will be changed after the merge. So the way they generate random numbers, which you need to like sort of make blocks and stuff, that will now be done on chain as opposed to from a external source, which would apparently that will reduce costs for dapps. So that would mean that somebody who wants to make a dapp on Ethereum it will cost them less, which could mean more people want to do it. But I think all these things sound like the Bitcoin maximalists say that it's now less secure and not a proper secured blockchain. But at the moment, as things stand, you'd need to have $10 billion worth of ETH to hack the system. Now, I don't know who is buying $10 billion worth of ETH to then lose it all.
If you've got 10 billion, you don't need to be hacking people.
But
right?
if you hack Ethereum, then the money, the ETH that you use to control the nodes, it gets automatically burned.
Yeah.
So you'd lose $10 billion to hack Ethereum, but you wouldn't have
gain
any money at the end, because
No.
apparently they would just do a fork anyway.
Yeah.
So it's probably quite secure. I don't know who's put together that money to then lose it all just to hack Ethereum. But,
I wouldn't see the point. There's no point to it.
No. So as I say, do your research in the run up, just because there are things that might affect you. Now I'm going to hold my hands up here. This is the live show. I got the running order wrong. Rob, I stole your thunder.
It's fine, mate.
I took your opportunity. Oh, hold on. We've got a question here.
I got a question. 1 second. Why you guys don't try to list the token on more exchanges like Binance, Bybit, KuCoin, etc.? This will bring value for the token. Good question. We're working on it, dude. We're working on it.
Yeah.
Patience is a virtue.
But that is the reason I'm laughing is because that's a classic question, and as we say, as Ian says, we are working on it. It's a good question because we are going towards that. But yeah.
But
he's actually answered his own question.
Listings will happen. I mean, listings will happen. Don't worry about that. Like,
but it's not essentially.
It's more about utility.
Yeah.
Radar token utility needs to go up. When utility goes up, there will be more demand, and when there's more demand, listing on exchanges will be easier, etc. So it's not only the listing that's like
and what we're trying to do.
Trading the token is not really important ultimately. It's
really utility. Fickle metric, because by listing on an exchange you get a price pump and then you get a price decrease. So I understand why you're asking the question, but it's not going to help Radar or DappRadar in a long-term standing, and that's what we're interested in, Etho, not in a short-term gain. We're here for your entire existence, man. So we'll be doing this when we're 60, so get used to it. All right.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to build a product around
that's not that long
added onto a really good product. So product for us comes first. And then other things should follow. Right, as I said, Rob, I stole your thunder. I took your limelight. I apologize.
I'm sad. So now let's press the start button.
Please deliver us some gaming alpha.
So
I'm not going to share his videos either, just to be double.
Go on,
the floor is yours. Exactly. You have the floor.
Exactly. No, there's. So first off, we mentioned L2s. There's something cool happening. Like we have Gala games now. They're starting to run their own network. There are various others. So Rare works on a version of Starkware. We have Immutable X, which hosts various games. Now there's another one called Myriam. Their layer 2 is live right now. Soon they will have a node sale, which you can participate in. I have no idea about the prices. But Myria is a Starkware solution, similar to what SoRare runs on, similar to Immutable X. So keep your eyes open for that. If you're into gaming and you want to participate on a hardware level with one of those L2s, you could be running a node. And keep your eyes open for that. That being said, I have 3 cool gaming news bits that are quite actionable literally right now, starting with Spider Tanks. They have their planetary node sale happening very soon, and the planetary node gives you ownership over a planet, and which will give you a share of the revenue from all matches that take place on your particular planet. It's part of the Gala Games ecosystem, so planetary node is actually a node in a network, taking care of transactions that take place surrounding the game. The release date for Spider Tanks is also known. The 31st of October, Spider Tanks will go live out of beta into the open. It's a free-to-play game. It uses NFTs. The NFTs bring earning benefits. You can earn Silk tokens. It's a team-based MOBA, so it's like League of Legends, but with mechanical spiders, if that makes sense. and it's very esports oriented. I honestly like it. It's a cool game. So check it out on the Gala Games website. Spider Tanks.
Do you play that one?
Yes, a while ago, like 6 months ago or something, like in an alpha test. And it's done by a Dutch game studio called Game Media, and because it's Dutch, I kind of felt I had to check it out, and I really liked it. So it's a cool thing.
Do you know them?
No, I don't. I have no idea.
It's actually Rob. He knows them really well.
Yes, they are my best friends. No, they're not. So another game from Gala Games, and if you're listening to this, make sure you go to Gala Games immediately after this, because the Walking Dead Empire's pre-alpha demo is live right now, and it will be live until September 1st. That's tomorrow, 12 p.m. PST. So the clock is ticking. Download the Walking Dead Empire's alpha. Give it a go. You can kill some zombies, craft some items. Obviously, there's nothing you can actually earn. It's literally a playtest. But it gives you an idea of what the Walking Dead Empires will become. Not all features are there yet, but again, just to get an idea, it's pretty cool. And it's the Walking Dead. Like it's a branded video game dipped into Web3 with NFTs, with earnings integrated, etc. So keep your eyes open for that. Yes, Ashley Bootman, MOBA, Multiplayer Online Battle Arena, is indeed for a game like League of Legends. Spider Tanks, you also play in teams. So you don't play one team. You don't play one tank, or you play one tank, but you have I think 3 teammates. And you play 4 against 4. So the last one, it's a big one for today.
I've got something to say about this one after you give us the rundown.
Okay,
go ahead.
So today, the final episode of the alpha of Phantom Galaxies will go live. So Phantom Galaxies episode 4 will bring some new quests. We'll bring a new starfighter. Some new enemies, new areas to discover, and of course, it brings you the ability to earn A-Strafer tokens. Literally the worst name for a token ever. Like it's. Is it A-Strafer or is it Astrafer?
Astrafer.
Yeah. Like I was thinking about strafing, moving mechanic and A-Strafer. So yeah, okay. As I said, the worst name for a token ever. That alpha is live. As far as I know, you always need a certain NFT to get access to Phantom Galaxies. Those NFTs exist on the Polygon blockchain. Often are not much more than a few bucks. So check it out. Go to the Phantom Galaxies website and play that alpha.
What I was going to say quickly was just that I'm very glad that they're doing something soon, because they had their huge land sale that went really well not that long ago, and then they kind of went a bit quiet since then. And I just Phantom Galaxies.
Yeah.
They sold loads of planets, didn't they? Do you remember?
Yeah.
And I just
you bought
really,
been busy, Charlie.
Say what?
You bought one?
No, I didn't buy it. No.
I've got one.
Have you?
Yeah.
So, but they sold them, and then they didn't really do much. But I'm glad they've done something now, because you do get some games that do these big land sales. Not going to mention any names. We can all think of a few. But they have these big land sales, and they don't do anything for years. So, well done, Phantom Galaxies, for doing something fairly quickly. Thumbs up.
Double thumbs up.
And that's it for the gaming updates this week.
Nice. Right. Does anyone have any, before we let these people go and toddle off to the rest of our lives, is there anything else that anyone want to bring up, talk about quickly before we wrap this show up?
All feedback on the live show is welcomed from our community. If they think there's things that we should cover or not cover or not talk about or do talk about or show more of, please let us know so we can deal with that, because we're here for you guys, so we need to know what you want, and we can do that.
And we love your feedback. Yeah. All right, so I guess we'll leave it there for today. Thank you both for joining me, and thank you everyone else for joining us on our first live show. Next time we will get the order perfect. I will get 3 things
We,
right in a row.
we will get better over time.
We will get better.
We're always improving. Now, remember, you can read more about everything you've heard here. You can read more about it on the DappRadar blog. So just go to DappRadar.com, and we tell you all about what's going on in the world of Web3. Also use our tools to find out new games, NFTs, anything in Web3 you can find out about with DappRadar. So thank you very much, and we'll see you all next week, maybe from a new location. Ooh.
Or maybe not.